Welcome to Conversations. I'm Suresh Kochar. One nation, one election. Now, what's the problem that the Congress party has with this one nation, one election concept? Why is it that a party that had won ONE till 1968 is now refusing to go back to the same process? Let's look at the issues at hand. The idea to synchronize all elections in the country either on a single day or within a specific time frame with an objective of cutting the election cost is what one nation, one election is all about. A few general elections in the post-independence period were held simultaneously with the state legislative assembly elections and the Lok Sabha elections being held together. While the practice continued till 1967, due to premature dissolution of some state assemblies in 1968 and 1969, the system of simultaneous elections got disturbed. Since 2014, when Shri Narendra Modi was the then Chief Minister of Gujarat, he has been espousing simultaneous elections, stating that it will reduce wastage of public money and will ensure smooth flow of development work, which otherwise gets arrested when the Model Code of Conduct is in force. Economists say it could be a game changer and boost India's gross domestic product by up to 1.5%. That's not a small number. India's democracy operates on multiple levels, each with its own election cycle. There are general elections to choose parliament members, state election to pick up legislators, while there are rural and urban council hold separate votes for local governance. And then there are, of course, panchayats, and then it goes down to the mandal level. By-elections to fill the vacancies caused by resignation, death or disqualification of the representatives who have been elected is another thing. These elections happen every 5 years, but at different times. The Government of India now wants to sync all of them. Apart from the debates around the pros and cons, there are multiple logistical challenges in conducting polls simultaneously for both the Lok Sabha and the state assemblies. Though they may be conducted in multiple phases, simultaneous elections would need manpower to be deployed around the same time at a stretch. It would also require greater number of EVMs or electronic voting machines as we know them, or voter verifiable paper trail, audit trail, or what is called the VVPAT machines. Also, the complexities could arise if any state government collapses or gets dissolved before the scheduled 5-year term. This is exactly what happened earlier. India began its electoral endeavor in 1951 with simultaneous elections in independent India's first election that were held between October the 25th, 1951 and February the 21st, 1952, an exercise spread over 100 days. However, as the states were restructured and assemblies were prematurely disbanded, this setup failed. Nonetheless, simultaneous elections were held in 76% of the states in 1957, 67 in 1962, and of course, 1967. So that is 76% of the states had elections in 1957, 67% had in 1962 and 67. Not 100%. The continuity of this synchronized electoral cycle was shattered in Kerala in July 1959, when the then central government dismissed the Communist Party government under EMS Namboodiripad. As a result, state elections were held in February 1960 within 3 years of the last assembly poll. By 1972, the synchronized election trend has been broken, as no state election coincided with that election to the Lok Sabha. However, assembly polls in Andhra Pradesh, Odisha, Arunachal Pradesh and Sikkim are concurrently held with the Lok Sabha elections. The idea and practice of holding elections in state assemblies and parliament is nothing new in India's case. But yes, the challenges are many, as I enumerated before. If India needs to opt for one nation, one election, the world's biggest democracy will need to set another unique example. Efforts to revive the system have been debated in the past for decades, with proposals from the Election Commission in 1983, the Law Commission in 1999, and the Niti Aayog in 2017. The biggest argument for holding simultaneous election, as I said before, was to cut election cost. According to the Delhi-based non-profit Center for Media Studies, India spent more than 600 billion rupees on the 2019 general elections, and 2024 would have been even more than that, making it the world's most expensive election at the time. With 900 million eligible voters, ensuring enough electronic voting machines, security officers, election officers would require extensive planning and resources. The report mentioned that if simultaneous elections were held, there would be a total saving of around 92.84 billion rupees, which would be again needed to procure new voting verifiable paper trail machines, which is VVPATs, and these machines would need to be replaced every 15 years. In our immediate neighborhood, simultaneous polls for the national parliament along with the state legislators are held in all the places, Pakistan. Nepal conducts simultaneous elections in all three levels, parliamentary, provincial and local, since the adoption of its new constitution in 2015. Far away, Sweden holds elections to all three levels of the government simultaneously, whereas Belgium holds parliamentary and provincial elections simultaneously along with the EU. In August 2018, the Law Commission of India released its draft report on simultaneously hold election in all the direct from panchayats up to the Lok Sabha within a given time of a single year. And that needs to be more appropriate as a representation of the People's Act 1951 and the rules of procedure of the Lok Sabha and state assemblies need to be amended. The Commission also recommended that the amendments receive ratification from at least 50% of the states. With respect to the advantages of holding simultaneous polls, the Commission said that it will lead to the saving of course, money, which is public money, reducing the strain on the administrative setup and security forces, and timely implementation of government policies and administrative focus on development activities rather than electioneering. On 2nd of September 2023, the Government of India issued a notification constituting a high-level committee to examine the issue of holding simultaneous election. This committee was constituted under the chairmanship of the former President of India, Shri Ram Nath Kovind. Other members of the committee included the Union Home Minister Amit Shah, then Law Minister Ram Meghwal, Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary, then Parliamentary Leader of the Indian National Congress, Ghulam Nabi Azad, former opposition leader in Rajya Sabha, N.K. Singh, Chairman of the 15th Finance Commission. It goes on and on and on with a lot of members. On 14th of March 2024, former President Ramnath Kovind submitted a 18,000-page long final report prepared by the committee to the incumbent President of India, Draupadi Murmu. Among many things, the report suggested setting up of an appointed date after the upcoming general election, that is 2024, to mark a new electoral cycle starting from 2029. This would require extending the term of all state assemblies which are due to expire before this date, and of course prematurely dissolve other state assemblies whose 5-year term extend beyond this date. A total of 18 amendments to the Constitution, mostly importantly to Article 83 concerning the duration of the Houses of Parliament, and Article 172, which deals with the duration of the state legislative assemblies, are required. States are required to ratify amendments to Article 324A to allow simultaneous elections in panchayats and municipal bodies, and Article 325 to empower the Election Commission of India for creating a common electoral roll and voter IDs with the help of the State Election Commission. The committee also sought legal advice from former 4 Chief Justices of India, 3 former Chief Justices of State High Courts, and former Chief Election Commissioner. 21,558 responses from the public were recorded, out of which the Law Ministry reported that 81% were in favor of the proposal. The 2 bills, including the one requiring the amendment to the Constitution, laid down the mechanism to hold simultaneous polls, were introduced in the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha last week, and a fiery debate ensued. Opposition parties dubbed the draft laws a constitution amendment bill and an ordinary bill as an attack on the federal structure, a charge that was rejected by the Modi government. Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi himself suggested that the bill be referred to a standing committee of the parliament. Following this, a JPC, or the Joint Parliamentary Committee, has been set up to study the bill in detail. Of course, this includes leaders from various parties including BJP, of course, Congress, and we've seen that across the board, including the opposition parties. The Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla, he's set to finalize the names of 21 members of the Lok Sabha and, of course, remaining from the Rajya Sabha, the 10 members. The panel has several first-time members, including Congress's Priyanka Gandhi Vadra, BJP's Anil Baluni, Sambit Patra, and Bansuri Swaraj. Other than these people, NCP's Sharad Pawar Group Supriya Sule is the third woman member of the Lok Sabha in this panel. Manish Tiwari, Sukhdev Bhagat, and other Congress representatives are in this joint parliamentary committee. TMC's Kalyan Banerjee, DMK's Selva Ganapati, Samajwadi Party's Dharmendra Yadav are also members of the panel. Senior MPs including Purushottam Rupala, Anurag Thakur, Bhartarari Mahatab, Vishnu Dayal Ram, and CM Ramesh are other members from the BJP representatives. Among the BJP allies, Shiv Sena's Shinde groups, Srikant Shinde, TDP's Harish Balayogi, RLD's Chandan Chauhan, and Janasena Party's Balshauri Vallabhaneni will be in the panel. Of course, let's now wait for the JPC to go over, debate, seek opinions, and of course, report back as to how things move from here. Till then, keep watching. Jai Hind.